I'm going to make up some ground beef into taco meat. Some of that taco meat is going to be put back for tacos, and the rest of it's going to be used with some stuffed peppers. And while this is cooking, I'm going to be getting my fathead dough ready. I have my cheese here, my mozzarella and my cream cheese. And over here, can you see that? Yeah, those 3 bowls over there. That is my almond flour measured out and ready to go. So trying to make things a little easier on myself here. All right, get this going. I really need to get some onions. I want to get some onions, like the big bag at Costco or something, and chop them all up for my freezer, because I usually use real onions when I'm making stuff like this, but I don't have any. I usually have them and I do them up, stick them in the freezer so they're ready to grab. Like, I chop them up. That's what I mean by do them up. Oh goodness. But yeah, I'm just going to be using the dried onions this time. I'm just going to go ahead and put them in now, so if there's any grease, the grease will kind of soften these things up. This is my taco seasoning that I just make it. It's really just some simple spices, like okay, so there's chili powder, garlic powder. I can't remember, guys. I can't remember. This has chili powder, garlic powder, cumin, salt, and paprika in it, and that's all I put in mine. You can do like an onion powder or something like that too, but that's all I put in mine. And you can also do something to make it spicy. Put some cayenne in it, or red pepper flakes, something like that. But this is kind of a base seasoning for me for different kinds of meats. So if you want to make it taste more like taco stuff, you can put like hot stuff in it or whatever. But anyway, that's my taco seasoning mix. I'm gonna start out with the cheeses here and get a microwave. Better break it up a little bit. Kind of stuck together since it's actual, like, I shredded it myself. If it was store-bought, it probably wouldn't be sticking together like this, but that's fine. It's no big deal. We're just gonna melt it anyway. So I'll be back in about, I don't know, about a minute. All right, here's what it's looking like so far. Can you see that? I can't tell. Yeah, you can see that. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, the way my tripod is, the phone holder part of it, it blocks the screen where I can kind of see what you can see. So I can't see what you can see. Not completely. But anyway, I'm going to put this in for another minute and give it another stir. You're probably thinking, you could have just left it in for 2 minutes to begin with. Well, you don't want to do that, because then the edges of the cheese will like burn a little bit to the bowl. And you don't want that. Not for fathead dough. So if you didn't already know that, that is why. Oh, and if you wondered what this was laying there, I have parchment paper. I'm tracing around it. And I'm cutting it to fit my round pan. I don't know. I suppose maybe you can buy it so it already fits. But like round pieces, I don't know. But these are just Dollar Tree pans. So maybe they're an odd size. I don't even know what size they are. 12-inch probably. Something like that. I just find it the easiest to do it this way. I could lay the whole square on it, but then the edges like get extra burnt. Like not burnt, but extra dark. The edges get like crispy. The edges of the paper, I mean, actually get extra brown and crispy. So I feel better, since I'm going to be baking this on my grill as opposed to my oven, to avoid heating up my kitchen. I feel better not having those edges sticking up. So yeah, I just find this the easiest, and it doesn't have to be perfectly on the line. It just gives me a guide. But I'm going to show you what I do to make this stuff lay flat on my pan too. So stay tuned to see that. All right, here it is after 2 minutes. Let's see what it's looking like. Still needs more time. I'm going to do another 30 seconds. It's definitely not melted yet. It's melting, but it is not melted. All right, I've got my, here I am doing the sizzling thing. Well, I have my taco seasoning in there. I put a little bit of water in, and I'm going to add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. I love using Worcestershire sauce with ground beef. Any kind of beef, really, to be honest. I just love that nice, rich flavor it gives. And I'm not shy with it either, so, yep, there we go. All right, I did another 30 seconds, but I started messing around with that ground beef, so I let it sit probably a couple of minutes. But yeah, I'm I'm still gonna give it another 30 seconds. So let's go do that. Okay, this bowl is good and hot now, let me tell you. Okay, that looks good. That's what you want right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and add in the almond flour. I'm not gonna put the egg in just this very second. I'm gonna put it in just a minute, but I just want to let it cool off just a touch first, because I don't want to have like a fried egg in this, or a scrambled egg, cooked egg. You know what I mean, right? So kind of get that almond flour worked in. Some people put the almond flour in at the same time as they do the cheese and just melt it all together with the almond flour still in it. I'm not telling you not to do that. I've just never done it like that. So it seems to work out just fine. But this is just how I've always done it. So, all right, let's try that egg and see what happens. Actually, I need 2 eggs. Oh, they're with the shell. That's all right, I got it. All right. I'm gonna start kind of mixing it up like this, but I almost always get in there with my hands. It's just usually too hot right at first. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in this bowl. And that's just going to be to put on my hands, because a little bit of water on your hands keeps this from sticking. You could probably grease your hands too, and that would obviously work as well. But here we go. It's good and warm, let me just tell you. It definitely is. All right, I think I've managed to get it mixed pretty well by kind of kneading it in, so yeah, it feels like it's mixed really well, so that'll be good. All right. Grab another bowl to sit this in for now. Okay, and we're gonna get another batch going. Train. While all this is going on, I'm gonna get some rice steaming in the Instant Pot. And, oh, I forgot to take my thing out. That's fine. But I'm gonna get some rice cooking in this Instant Pot. Not sure how much water to put in. I've never steamed cauliflower rice in this Instant Pot before, so we're just gonna try it and see what happens. I have quite a bit of cauliflower rice here, so I don't know. Oh, let me turn my light on, sorry. Okay, I don't know if that makes much of a difference or not, but I'll find out when I'm editing, won't I? All right, here we go. Let me set this in my sink just in case I have a disaster of some kind. All right, I did not have a disaster. Gosh. Okay, we'll see how this works. Oh my goodness. That's really, really full, but we're gonna try it. I put in 4 cups of water, in case you wondered. All right. Seal it and let's see. Pressure cook. Definitely not 42 minutes. Don't need 42 minutes. We need 1 minute. All right, we're gonna do this for 1 minute and see how that works. Okay, I also steamed up some peas. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about the higher carb vegetables, like peas. I definitely absolutely love peas, and I always put peas in my meat mixture for my stuffed peppers. Maybe that sounds a little weird, but it's how I like it. So, and John has never complained about it. So here's the meat for the stuffed peppers, and I've got 2 containers over here that have the rest of the meat in it for taco meat. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use this tomato sauce that I already had opened that I put in the meatball mixture. Throw that in. And I already know it's going to take more than that because with all this cauliflower rice that's going in here, and I will have extra filling, by the way. So, and I am perfectly fine with that. So I'm just going to dump this right in. And I did taste this. I took a spoon and I took a bite of this, and it is cooked perfectly. And as soon as it was done, when it beeped after it was done pressure cooking for its 1 minute, I went ahead and manually released the pressure. So I did not let it natural release. I did manually release it. If I didn't, it would probably be pretty overcooked. So there's all that. And the peas, put those in. And, whoa, wrong side. Don't do that again. I'm gonna do salt and pepper. And that's it. You could do some hot sauce or whatever you want. You put whatever you want in this mixture. You can stuff peppers with pretty much whatever you want to. You can do sausage too. In fact, I've done that before with poblanos. I don't have poblanos this time. I have bell peppers. I have, I can't remember, orange, red, yellow, I think. Is what I have. I didn't get any green ones. We prefer the orange, red, and yellow, so got a lot of there. All right. Oh, almost forgot. Don't forget the cheese. Just throw a little in. You don't need a bunch. It just kind of binds it a little bit inside the pepper, I think. You don't need that, but I like it, so. There you go. And then the extra, I'll just put in the freezer for another time. We'll make stuffed peppers another time. Oh yeah, this is looking just right with that tomato sauce. That was the perfect amount. So good. I'm glad I had just that amount left in that jar. Okay. I am going to grab a spoon and taste it, give it a taste. Or I'll grab a fork. That works too. Make sure it's not too hot. It's perfect. I could eat that, just that by itself, and that's it. Love it. Okay. We're going to set this aside and deal with this later when we get to the chopping up the peppers. We're going to move right along here. We're not going to mess around. We're going to get this pizza crust down on these trays. For this, close your ears for a minute because I'm going to show you how I make it lay flat. So, okay, close your ears. You ready? Close them. I crinkle it. Keep them closed. Crinkle it, flatten it out, and it stays put. Well, somewhat. I mean, it lays flat now, so that's what I do. I still have my little bowl of water here because I'm going to need it to keep it on my hands, or this stuff is going to stick like crazy to my hands. It doesn't matter if you get a little water on the paper or if you get a little water in your dough. It doesn't matter. So, all right. We're going to take, oh, I need another tray. Hold on. I dropped the dough on the counter. Messing around here. About half of the dough per pan. Got a splotch on the countertop. Oh well, that's fine. That's fine. Just flatten it out just like you would with any pizza dough. Keep your hands watered. All right, this one feels a little on the thick side, so I might not have had quite as much in this ball, but that's okay. That is okay. This recipe that I'm making is just right for 2 of the Dollar Tree pizza pans, and I'm thinking they're 12-inch. Pretty sure they are, so, yep. I've got my hands all washed up now, and let me grab a fork. I just want to poke some holes in it so it doesn't bubble up. All right. I like to put Italian seasoning and some garlic salt on mine. That's what I like to put on my crust. And to be honest, sometimes I don't. And that's because sometimes I forget. Oh, but yeah, this, and then we're gonna put it on the grill to cook it. So I haven't even warmed the grill up yet. I'll do that first, then I'll come back with you after I get all these doughs rolled out and we get the grill warmed up. All right, I'm out here letting my grill get up to temperature, and I want it to get to 425. So I just have the two on the outside, the two on the ends are the only ones I have on right now, and we'll see how that does. This one's turned up about halfway. Yeah. So let it go a couple minutes and see. And this seems to be about perfect. It's been on for probably 5 minutes. Oh, of course somebody's gonna start mowing. That's okay. But it's about a 425. So it's probably been on for about 5 minutes. So I don't think it's gonna go up any further than that. And it's all cleaned out. Look at that. Yes, it's not perfect, but it is clean. All right, so I'm gonna put, I don't know if I should just do one at a time. Maybe. I'm gonna put that on for 8 minutes. And I think I'm just gonna do one at a time. 8 minutes. And this is why it took me longer. I was out here talking to the little football players. I say little, oh my gosh. They were high school kids. But anyway, they're selling these coupons for $10, and it's way more than $10 worth of coupons. I mean, just Dunham's alone is $10 off of a $50 purchase, $10 off $40 at B-Dubs or Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, there's lots of local stuff and just, yeah, nice. All right, my timer just went off, so let's see how we're looking. Oh yeah, that looks good. So this is just a first bake, and guess what? I didn't bring out my hot pad. Doggone it. All right, I'll run. I got my hot pad. So yeah, this is just a first bake. Then you're supposed to take it out and poke out any air bubbles and put it in for another 6 minutes, but it's looking pretty good just like this. I'm not gonna do it anymore. Hold on. I'm not gonna do it any longer than this because these are gonna go in the freezer and they're gonna get baked again once they get pulled out of the freezer. I've done this before and it works out really well. So let me get another one going. All right, we just have a couple more to bake. Let's take a look. It's puffing up a little bit. The last one was really puffed up, but I don't have a fork out here to poke it with, so I've just been using this thing. We are gonna make up a couple of these pizzas, just do it real simple. It's a little bit different over here because we've had a couple of the guys come out and make some tacos. So we're gonna use this Rayo's Alfredo sauce. Put that on both of these pizzas real quick. I forgot to get the cheese out, and I also wanted some pepperoni because some of this is gonna have pepperoni on it. I'm gonna throw some pepperonis on this. Oh, you know what? I was gonna throw these back on the grill to finish baking, and I turned it off. Doggone it. Gonna have to warm it back up, so, oh well. Not a big, huge deal. Let me get this pepperoni on here real quick. Okay, this one is gonna have these bacon bits. These are the Costco Kirkland brand bacon bits. I'm not the world's biggest fan of these bacon bits, but I'm gonna put them on one. And we're gonna throw some spinach on too. I think that's gonna be really good with this Alfredo sauce. I've never had the Rayo's before, but all the other Rayo's stuff is pretty darn good. And the crust is made out of cheese, so I don't like to put too much cheese on the top, but you gotta have some, right? Oh, I forgot the spinach. That's all right. I wanted the spinach on before the cheese. Got a paper towel in there to soak up moisture. All right. Whoops, I dropped some spinach on the floor. That's okay. I don't have to worry about Winston trying to get it right now because he's off. I don't know where he is. He was in Hayden's room. Oh, the cat's down here trying to get it. Oh my goodness. All right. I put spinach on both of them. I'm not a big fan of stems either, so I usually break off the stems, but I'm trying to get better about it. Try not to be so picky, but I'm really a texture person, so I try to break off the stems. Oh well. Here I'm trying to do it with one hand. I probably sound super picky, but there's just something I don't like about getting these stems in my mouth. I get a bite of food that's got a big stem in it. I just don't like it. So I'm going to put a little more spinach on after I pick off the stems. Now we can top it with some cheese. This one's gonna have a little extra cheese, but that's okay. John's probably gonna mostly be the one eating that one, and I really don't think he's gonna complain at all about extra cheese. All right, I'm gonna go throw these on the grill and I'll show them to you when they're done. Now I'm gonna get these peppers chopped up, the cucumbers, these jalapenos. Some of these peppers are gonna be for the stuffed peppers. I'm gonna keep some of it, a little bit of it out, and put it in with the cucumbers. This is too vinegary, so I'm just gonna take half of this and put it in this one and fill the rest with water. And yeah, I'm just gonna dilute this quite a bit with water, so. All right.
Thank God.
Yeah, John says, thank God, because he says it's way too vinegary. I can't get this lid off. What is wrong?
What?
It twists off. Don't squeeze it too much. You're going to crack it as a Dollar Tree container. Give it to me, I'll get it.
Hope you got that recorded.
I did get that recorded. You were going to break it, but I got it. I got that recorded too, the part where I got it.
You didn't use his hand. You saw it. I was going to have it done.
You were going to crack it. All right. Here we go. Ooh, that has a pretty strong smell.
I can smell it already over here.
Oh my gosh. All right, that looks like about half. I'm going to take some of those out and put it in the other one.
Garlic powder.
You want garlic powder in them?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, he's the one that's going to be eating them, so.
Maybe.
Well, that's a lot more in there than what's in here. Hold on, I'll even it out and put water in it.
I think you put some dill in there. Is that the same dill that they used to make dill pickles with?
You want me to put dill weed in it?
Is that what they use?
I don't know.
Right now, that's what not right.
Well, it's up to you. You're not getting very much garlic, because I know that when you go to bed at night before me, then I walk in the bedroom and it's not good. It is not good.
Hey, me, it's you.
Oh no, it's not me. Trust me when I tell you, it's definitely you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and. I better put the veggies in first, huh? That was silly. All right, so I am gonna put gloves on to cut these up because I've learned my lesson with that a long time ago. My hands felt like they were on fire. This has holes in it. No, it doesn't. Never mind.
Rub your eyes afterwards.
Huh?
You don't rub your eyes afterwards.
No, I didn't rub my eyes afterwards, but when I was a kid, I did. When I was a kid, my mom was, mom and dad and grandma or somebody was down there at our house processing up a bunch of jalapenos from the garden. And I was messing around with the seeds and they didn't know it. And I did touch my eyes. And it was not good. It was not good. I had to go to the emergency room. They had to flush my eyes at the emergency room. So I was pretty young, but I definitely remember it. We've got the jalapenos done, so I can take the gloves off. Gloves are off. Alright, I got the peppers all cut up. I'm gonna throw a few down in with the cucumbers. Guess I'll have to stuff them in there because I should have put them in before the cucumbers. Top this off with some water. Hopefully these will be better for you, honey. Okay. These should be pretty good, I think. All that garlic in there. They look prettier than they did. Jalapenos, some bell peppers. Make sure that lid's on good. All right, so yeah, I guess just leave them sit for a couple days or a day. Just leave them sit for a little bit. You want to taste it, honey? Not yet? All right. The lady I worked for had me clean out her pantry, and this pan was in there, and she said she didn't want it. So I thought it had a cover, but maybe not. Does it have a cover? There was two with lids, so I don't know. I don't see a cover with it. I usually put a little bit of sauce down in the bottom of the pan, but I don't want to open a whole can of it just for that little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit of this tomato soup in that Chase opened to have with his grilled cheese yesterday. I know this isn't like keto friendly, but just look away for a minute because I'm using it. I am going to spray it a little bit. Whoops. All right. This should be good. Got this little piece. I'm going to use it. I'll eat it. I'm not a big fan of a whole lot of pepper anyway, so these two red ones are smaller. I'll probably eat those. Okay, now I'm just gonna stuff them. Just stuff the peppers. All right, that looks good, and I'm gonna have quite a bit left over, so I'll probably save a little bit of it out to eat for a meal at some point, and the rest of it I'm gonna put in the freezer container for another time. Okay, I'm probably gonna go ahead and bake these. Full disclosure, I put the rest of what was in this can on the top of the peppers, so just so you know, I did do that. Now for the crusts that I'm going to put in the freezer, I do wrap them in saran wrap. And twist it all up on me weird. All right, I'm going to have to do it different. I wrap them in saran wrap first, then foil, just to protect them good in the freezer. Well, that piece of saran wrap's almost worthless, but that's all right. We'll keep it on there. When I made these before for the freezer, I've always put toppings on them, and then I cover them, and they're just ready to throw in the oven and bake, just like a frozen pizza you'd buy at the store. And you can definitely do that. But if I do it like this, then I can put on whatever toppings I kind of feel like at the time. So I'm just going to freeze only the crust this time. But yeah, I'm just going to throw these right in the freezer just like this, right on the pans. They're ready to top and bake. I did some more salami chips today. These are about half gone, so that's why. We love them. So I'm going to take these off, and I also did, actually, some pepperoni. I'm going to put those on a little plate. And John and I can snack on these. I'm not going to worry about putting them away because they're not going to last. I already know that. They're pretty greasy, but that's all right. It'll be fine. Okay. And some of the pepperoni grease like ran down on these, so I'm not mad about that. I am not. Okay. Ooh, that one broke. That's okay. One of my kids, I'm not going to say which one, but one of my kids used to be so picky that if he had like even a candy bar that was broken, he didn't want it. Nope, I don't want that one. It's broken. If it was the only one we had, he didn't care. He didn't want it if it was broken. So, oh gosh. Kids are so funny. Today, though, in this day and age, he'll eat a broken candy bar. He sure will. All right, I gotta try one of these greasy little pepperonis. That's good. I mean, it tastes like pepperoni, but a crispy pepperoni, even better. I just gotta show you. I have the peppers and the pizza in at the same time. Why not? Just save a little time. Here's the pizza. Look at that. I almost burn it. It's awful dark around the edges, but that's okay. We're going to eat it anyway. And the reason is because I was listening while I was waiting for it to get done. I didn't set the timer. Didn't even think about it because I was listening to a sentencing. It's the Lori Vallow Victim Impact Statements and Sentencing. I was listening to that live stream. Oh my goodness. The pizza's very good?
Very.
Oh, good. The pizza's very good. And I have to agree, I had a taste of it, but I haven't actually sat down to eat yet. But this is the peppers, and they smell so good. And they cooked up really nice on the grill. A little dark spot over there, but just in the pan. The peppers are perfectly good. And I think John will probably take one of these to work with him tomorrow. I might just keep them in the fridge for a day or two and see. We might just eat them up instead of freezing them. Now, I'm going to make this mixture, this meat mixture that I made up for the meatballs. I'm just going to make it up into the meatballs like this and stick it in the freezer on these trays to just kind of like flash freeze them. I don't know if that's what you really call it, but that's what I'm going to call it. Just to get them frozen enough so that I can throw them in a Ziploc bag real quick, and that way they won't all stick together like a giant clump. And then I'll have meatballs made up already to just bake, you know, however I want them. And if I want, I can make the boys some spaghetti and meatballs, or we can do up some low carb Italian meatballs, or however we want to do them. But this scoop right here, if you didn't see me use this in a different video, this scoop is from Pampered Chef, but I know you can get these from like Walmart or Amazon. You know, you can get these all over now. And it's a cookie scoop. It's not the melon baller. It's bigger than the melon baller. And I don't know what the measurement is. I don't know, but let me show you. This one is the cookie scoop, and this one is about twice the size of that. At least twice the size, probably about twice, yeah. So this is the cookie scoop. You could definitely use the melon baller, and I have before. It just makes a little bit smaller meatballs, but we always do this size because when they cook up, they do shrink a bit. So you end up with some pretty small little meatballs, but they're kind of like the size of the spaghetti and meatballs from Chef Boyardee meatballs. Yeah, but yeah, so I just scoop it in there. Scoop a little up, can compress it in there like this with my hand. A lot of people would probably prefer to wear a glove, and I probably should too, but I'm not. So just do it like this, kind of take it off of the edges, press it down. You don't have to fool around with rolling up meatballs that way. So I've always done it like this. When you put them on the tray to bake them, you can crowd them, and they'll bake just fine because they shrink up a little bit, so they won't be crowded by the time they're done. They won't be crowded at all. But when I'm freezing them like this, I don't want them to touch, really. I mean, it doesn't matter if they touch a little bit, but because I'm trying to flash freeze them so they don't stick together in the bag. So I'll put them in the freezer for probably about an hour and check on them, and we'll get back with you and see if it takes longer than that or not. I'll let you know. Here's the meatballs all flash frozen. They were in the freezer more than an hour, probably about 2.5 to 3 hours actually. And there's, let's see, 32 meatballs in one of them and 33 in the other two. So, and that's pretty good because those are decent sized meatballs. We are a household of 6. So when I get these out and cook them, they won't last a real long time. Here's my list. And I got almost everything crossed off except for making croutons and chopping up some salad mix. But I'll do that sometime through the week. And I'll do a different video some other time for the croutons. I'm going to make those with that keto bread that I showed you earlier on. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.